This is the Big O Show. 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 This.
So here's the putting green. See? There you go. Got two flags. One is over there where Cutter's Edge Pro. It's not coming out now. Come on. Come on, wind. Give me a little wind. No, unfortunately. But there you go. And this one says Big O here. There you go. So there's my putting green. It's about, I would say about 25 feet, something like that. I get to practice, have a little fun. See? And then, of course, we got, you know, the bunkers. Got to have the bunkers, man. Got all kinds of bunkers there. You know what I'm saying? So that's a taste of our backyard. There's Maiden right there. Maiden. Bono, how you doing, Bono? Bono. Bono. He's a Carolina dog, by the way. These dogs are amazing. Their temperaments are awesome. But there is the Sylvester Palm, which is just beautiful. All right, call my guys, Will and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Dogs are not included, okay? Can't include the dogs. Those are mine. But the exceptional work, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Make your home an oasis. CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to their Instagram page, by the way, so you can see a lot of the before and after work that they do. And it is exceptional, baby. This thing's been on here for about 9 months. No grass growing through it or anything like that. Right, Bono? Huh? Bono!
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard to the show on a beautiful Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, that is driving the program. Alrighty. How do you like the new edition? Told you we'd whip out the other one. Little new addition to the Dolphin collection. This morning. Lordy. Hope you guys are all well out there and feeling good wherever you're at in the world, downloading the show, watching it live. Thank you all out there. Marcel Louis Jacques will stop by at 10:30. He's out at practice with Messi, which that place is a madhouse. Manny Navarro will stop by at 11:30. So we'll have some fun with him. And we'll get it going. We got a bunch of things to talk about today on Le Show. Let's see what else we got. What Messi, by the way, practicing today. And he is out there for his first practice. Apple is filming. There's a helicopter above. Michelle Kaufman, she put out a video of the mess that's out there. And let's hear from Michelle. Remember, you can follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. Sean, play that video. Let's hear the commentary from Michelle and look at the amount of media members.
This that we're allowed to watch. And let me just say, it's very different from the past 3.5 years when I was the only person here on most days. Me and sometimes 2 or 3 other reporters were the only people who came to these practices for 3.5 years. And now, half an hour before the training is going to start, this is the scene. A long, 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 long line of media waiting for a chance to see Messi running around at a practice. Things have definitely changed at Inter Miami since Mr. Messi arrived. This
Crazy stuff. Thank you, Sean. 200 media credentials issued this morning for practice. 200. They never have that for the Dolphins. That's the Dolphins. They don't have that for the NBA Finals practices. There aren't 200 media members. Maybe 100, maybe 150, maybe 120. Not 200. We're talking practice. Not a game, practice. 200 media members. That is insanity. Yeah, Sean.
I saw it and I forgot to save it, but somebody was saying like the overnight for the unveiling was like 3.5 billion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know. I saw that. I saw the 3.5 billion views. So that's a lot of people to see a really shitty presentation. That's why, it's what I talked about yesterday. Dude, start doing things the right way, man. It's been like this for 4 years. You got to stop doing things on the cheap. And they're not cheap, but they do things on the cheap. The production side, all of that, everything. Man, you got the best player in the world now. You've got the world looking at you, bro. Please do things on a first. You want to be first class with your team and coaches and facilities. They do that already. I mean, that training facility that they built there in Fort Lauderdale, that academy, it is gorgeous, dude. They did an awesome job. They did an awesome job with that stadium in 8 months. And I'm sure the one that they're going to build in Miami is going to be first class. But, dude, you got billions of people watching. Not millions, billions watching this move. You got to do better in the presentation. You got to stop with shitty presentations and, cheap talent and all that stuff. Start spending some money on the production. And do something, bro, because that is. And you know what's crazy about practice? All they're going to do is watch some drills, and that's it for 15, 20 minutes, and then they kick their ass out. And Messi doesn't speak English, so you're not going to ever get any real great interviews. He's and as a talker, he's really not much of a talker anyways. So he's going to say a few words in Spanish, and then you're going to get maybe the translation deal, which is lame as hell. So it's kind of, that's the sad part about all of this is the trade-off for marketing purposes. It's just the player. Luckily, it's the greatest player ever, or one of the 3 or 4 best ever. So that's going to help you, but he's not going to help you in vocally selling everything. You know what I mean? So that kind of sucks. There aren't going to be great sound bites. There aren't going to be things that you and I talk about when Tua goes off, or Jimmy Butler, or Verhage, or whoever it is. Whatever stars in town, and all of a sudden Kachuk says something and it goes viral, that kind of stuff. It's not going to happen here on the soccer side, because the star you signed doesn't speak the language of the country. You know what I mean? So it's amazing how many people are there to watch him just do a couple of drills, but you're not really going to watch practice. And then on the Anglo side of it all, you're not going to get any juicy sound bites. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, if you're not bilingual, then you're asking somebody or trying to get it from a translator and all that kind of stuff, and that also kind of sets you back. So it's interesting how you'll send a lot of people to do stuff out there, and they're going to be talking to the ancillary players. They're not even going to be talking to Messi. And if Messi says, he'll say a couple of words in Spanish and then move on, but it's not something you're going to be able to really connect with as you can with some of the other sports and some of the other players that actually speak the language that you speak. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting dynamic going on. Hey, Sean, do me a favor. Give me some there for 30 seconds. Okay, please.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Back. Oh, there I am. Anyway, the other video I sent you, Sean. So on Saturday, they had a game. Oh, not a game. They had the presentation. But I got to say, something really impressive happened in that game, okay? Now, let's take off to Cutter's Edge. Let's call our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, Dave Broward of Palm Beach Counties. Will and Mike are just absolutely amazing. So there was a little rain over at the facility. And let me tell you something. One of the greatest defensive plays by an Inter Miami CF defender happened on Saturday. There wasn't even a game played. And the best tackle by an Inter Miami CF defender happened on Saturday night. Go ahead, play it, Sean. This is the wild in the middle of the stadium, hitting people. But that right there wasn't an Inter Miami defender. Maybe if Gregory would have stayed healthy, he could have made a tackle like that. But no Inter Miami defender made a tackle like that all season long. They should put a jersey, a kit on that cabinet right there. Tell me that tackle wasn't textbook there, huh, Sean? Textbook tackle right there. Better than any Inter Miami defender in the 2023 season. Okay? Right there. That's a defender. Nobody will score in Inter Miami if you have cabinets like that out on the pitch. That's all I got to say. So put a jersey on that cabinet. Miami Mako Shark Molina, number 1. He is in. Willie out there in Colombia. Speaking of Colombia, Sofia Vergara, isn't she Colombian? They're getting a divorce. What's up with that? Apparently she wanted a kid and everything. And so Joe Manganiello, that's it. I had to look up the last name, Manganiello. And Ariana Grande, by the way, Miami's own. Isn't she from Miami, right? Or born in Miami or something like that? Anyway, Dalton Gomez and Ariana Grande are also getting a divorce. So for you single guys out there, Sofia Vergara and the mousy one, Ariana Grande, or is she from Palm Beach? Is that what it is? Not sure. I'm something tells me she was born here in South Florida. But anyway, both are now on the market. Speaking of Colombia. Giovanni is in. I see King Short, Mr. Torres, Steven Gonzalez. He says, everybody this Thursday at Hialeah Park. Let's go. Come on, folks. Thursday, Hialeah Park. Remember, amongst yourselves. Communicate amongst yourselves. Talk to each other. When you can, what Thursday, make it an event. And you tell me if a bunch of you are going to show up. Then I'll make it an event. Big Riggs is in the house. Sharon Calderon. Jeff from Long Island here, going to see Belinda Carlisle tonight at Westbury Music Fair. Have you? No, I have not seen her solo. I've only seen the Go-Go's a few times. I haven't seen her solo. And I would like to see her solo stuff because she had several songs too. And that, boy, when she went solo early in her career, right when she broke up with the Go-Go's, man, she took it like a divorce, and she looked phenomenal, dude. Like, she's always been a pretty girl, but that was her peak right there. Like, wow, dude, when she did that whole look, the red hair and all that, that was awesome. Awesome. Very beautiful woman. Gus 1388 says, good morning, everybody. Hey, when are you making it back to Flagler Beach? I got to talk to the guys. Let me call the boys and see what's up. But eventually I will make it back up there. Sean and I will somehow make it back up there. Lazaro Barrios. Yes, we are getting closer. Rookies are reporting today. 9 teams, I think it is, around the league. Rookies. The Dolphins are one of them, by the way, reporting. Kyle Cockrell is in. Isaiah in. Let's see. William Rod. Lisa Rose. She's from the Smoky 585. Okay. I don't know what that means. Alexis is sorry for the tardiness. How dare you, Alexis? Miles Deep is in. Francesco. Roderick says, good morning, Big O. Hattie Taco Tuesday. Saquon Barkley is finding out what you've been saying all along, namely the NFL does not put high value on the running backs positions. You know, the funny part is, did you guys catch like the social media stuff yesterday? We have reporters that are shocked that running backs aren't getting paid. We have running backs that are shocked that they're not getting paid and mad. I can understand the mad part. And then we have agents also. And I'm sitting there going, what are you people watching? Like, why are you surprised? I don't understand this at all. I know a lot of you that have been watching this show, you've been educated on it from the get-go, and we've been telling you what's happening with the running back position, how it's going to be treated, and all that kind of stuff. I'm the one shocked that people are shocked about what's actually happening. I don't get it. I don't like, they're sending you the message. They've been sending you the message now for a few years. And this is why I told you that Dalvin Cook and his agent aren't the brightest bulbs in the chandelier. They completely were ignorant to all of this. I think Dalvin Cook thought he was immune to it or something. I think Dalvin Cook really thought people were going to be in line waiting for him to be free. Seriously. It is baffling to me, to be quite honest, how people have not adjusted to how I actually had somebody that was following me on Twitter. He says, oh, it's now time to, allocate a certain amount of money that you have to use to running backs. And I'm like, no, it's the stupidest thing in the world. You don't force any owner to spend money when they don't have to spend. If the business model doesn't require it so you can be successful, why would you do it? Stupid. I mean, so if you get a bargain in running back, you'll be penalized because you're not spending enough money. I mean, some fans come up with some really stupid shit, to be quite honest. And it is amazing to me how many people were like floored that Saquon Barkley wasn't getting a deal, and Josh Jacobs and Tony Pollard and Austin Eckler wants to talk to the owner. And it's like, you're running backs, dude. Go look around the league. You're interchangeable as hell. You're not valued anymore. And by the way, if you don't value Derrick Henry, as I've said before, there's no reason to value anybody else. Okay? Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs and Austin Eckler, and they ain't shit compared to Derrick Henry. None of those guys ain't shit. Those are all good backs. Derrick Henry is a generational back. As I've said before, he's Jim Brown, he's Walter Payton, he's Barry Sanders. He's that dude. Okay? He's that kind of guy. He's Marshall Faulk. He's generational. And they don't care about him. He's 29, still considering the beast that he is, probably can give you at least 3 more years of really dominant play. Nobody trades for the guy. Nobody trades for the ultimate difference maker at that position in the last 20 years in this league. So if nobody's trading for Derrick Henry, and if the Tennessee Titans aren't willing to give Derrick Henry a big-ass contract, who the hell are you? Put in the name of whoever you want. That's available. That's a free agent. That is on a 1-year contract that has been tagged. Who the hell are you? That's what I ask. You're nothing compared to Derrick Henry. So if we're going to disrespect Derrick Henry, that's all you need to know about the position. So, yeah, it's amazing to me, the people that are it was all over social media yesterday. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Are they not watching this? Anyway, Steve Chapman is in. Josh is in. Brian Walters. $60 million a year for Messi. Brian. When sports and business collide, we like doing something called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. So, Lionel Messi coming to the MLS. He is signing with Inter Miami, and the agreement is worth up to $150 million over 2.5 seasons. Additional compensation from MLS partners, Adidas and Apple, plenty of scratch. So, plenty of shopping also at Publix. The Miami Pact is the latest in the career of a blockbuster payday on and off the field. By the end of 2025, Messi's career earnings will reach an estimated $1.6 billion, including playing salaries, bonus, endorsements. His tally ranks among the 5 highest paid in the history of sports. So Messi's deal is worth $50 and $60 million per year from his salary, signing bonus, and equity in team. It's on par with what some of the top earners in the NBA and the NFL make. The 2-time MVP, Jokic, his current deal is worth $55 million. Lamar Jackson, $52. It's crazy. 1.6 billion. Okay? Now, if Messi can raise global profits, it will directly benefit his own bank account. Thanks to the revenue sharing deal and team equity component in his contract, Sportico valued Inter Miami at $585 million, but it could be worth $1 billion once its new stadium, Miami Freedom Park, opens in 2025. This is crazy, dude. The amount of money that he's going to make, the amount of money that he's going to produce, and the value of Inter Miami, that's another thing. That man is going to make, when it's all said and done, he'll make close to $400-500 million for the 3 years that he'll be here. 2.5, whatever. Because the salary is one thing, then the compensation from Apple and Adidas and everything else, the endorsement side, it's going to take it to the hundreds of millions. That is a money-making machine. Lionel Messi. That is your KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right. And yes, call our friends at KSDT CPAs, offices all throughout South Florida. All right. Rick DeMann, thank you, sir. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Rick DeMann, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Sending a little love on Cash App. Cash Big O Show at Cash Big O Show. If you want to send a donation. And of course, you can send in a super chat and reach out to our friends at KSDT CPAs 305-670-3370. Anywhere, really, pretty much where you're at. And use that QR code right there if you need to do your taxes, get an extension. Or how about if you haven't done your taxes the last couple of years? You know, Biden and the boys are going after you. So get in there. Call my friends at KSDT CPA. Let's see. Brian Walters, Rosendo. The key to Happy Tuesday is forgetting about the broken images of Monday and focus on a new beginning. Tuesday is, in some ways, a bright and promising day. Thank you, Rosendo. Although I had a pretty good Monday. No broken images there. Anthony Campos. Big O, wow, another gem of a hat. I'm going to ask Cutter's Edge, Nature B, Edge Energy Drink to sponsor your hat collection. Yesterday was asking, what's your favorite place to host the Big O Show? I told you, anywhere with AC. So, could be at the youth fair. I could be at a strip club. Could be at a restaurant. Could be anywhere. Car dealership. If you put me in the AC, that's my favorite place to do a show. Okay? That's it. Big O had to rip one. No, actually, I had to clear my nose. I felt like I don't know if you hear it already. I've kind of been battling a little bit of a cold for 2 weeks now. Okay? And so I'm kind of coming off of it already, but I had to kind of clear up my throat. Don't want to do it on the air. So if you had to know, if you got to rip one, you can go silent. You won't hear it. You know what I mean? I smelt it and I dealt it, but you won't hear it. If you know what I'm, so yeah. If I'm gonna rip one, yeah, go silent. Johnny Rotten says, morning, Big O from Charlotte. Have you seen the new Marvel series, Secret Invasion? Amazing. No, I have not. I have not. I'll check it out. What I did watch yesterday is I watched this movie with the wife yesterday. It's the one with Pierce Bronson, and they're like they're in-laws, but they're bank thieves, and then they set up the son-in-law because he's going out with their daughter and all that. Dude, throughout the whole movie, one of the things is that Dan Marino banged the kid's mom in an orgy. So it's kind of like a running joke throughout the whole thing. It was just kind of funny that it's like, how in the hell did Dan Marino become a part of the movie? You know what I'm saying? It was just, and you never see Dan or anything like that. It's just mentioning Dan. That's it. It's the mother is the woman that plays the flight attendant in Airplane, the one that's in the cockpit with Robert Hayes, right? I think that's his name, Robert Hayes. Julie, I think, is her character's name. She's the mom in that movie. I forgot the damn name of the movie. Ellen Barkin and Pierce Bronson are the the in-laws, and then this other classic actor, I forgot his name now. He's been in 4 billion things, along with Julie from Airplane, are the parents of the guy. I'm sure some of you have seen the movie. It was actually pretty funny. It was all right, actually. The kid, he goes a little overboard, but it does have its moments. I'll give it some love. Not a great movie, but somewhat entertaining, I guess. Ariana Grande is from Boca Raton. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Chad is in the house. Ant is in the house. Andrew Moore says, oh, my 9-year-old is soccer crazy. My wife got him a Messi kit. I'm gaining interest. Oh, you'll like it, bro. Just give it time. You'll get used to it. You'll enjoy it. You'll appreciate it. Zuku is in. Lisa says, Rochester area code's 585. Wildfires. Oh, God, again, that's right. I heard that the wildfires in Canada, again, are lighting up, and there's more. I'm so sorry, Lisa. That sucks for all you folks up there in the Northeast. That just sucks. So it's safe to say Mounties suck at turning out fires? Are the Canadians trying to turn it off with liquor? Papa is in. Jose Banos, Gordon Shumway. The running back's reaction on social media yesterday was comical. It's like these people forgot about the Le'Veon Bell fiasco or the disasters that were Todd Gurley and Zeke's contracts. Remember that? You are correct. You are correct, sir. Richard Ray, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Big O, it was great to meet you at Buck Cherry. Could you explain why the league isn't paying running backs? Richard, have you been watching the show for months? I mean, did you just tune in? Like, did I not predict like months ago that they would not pay Dalvin Cook and they would not trade for Dalvin Cook? Remember all those reports? Oh, the Dolphins are going to trade for Dalvin Cook. Oh, the Dolphins they can't wait for Dalvin Cook to become available. They're going to scoop him up right away. You weren't listening, Richard, right? You weren't listening for months. Be honest now. Because I've been talking about this for months now. Running backs are not valued at all in the NFL. As we've mentioned over and over and over and over and over and over again, there's a lot of segments there, my man. Okay? I talked about Saquon Barkley. I talked about Derrick Henry. Interchangeable. You won with Pacheco this year. There are. Think about this, okay? Here's something I've never said, and it just came to mind. So what championship was won because they ran the ball? What's been going on lately, the last few years? That the running back was the reason why. Doesn't happen anymore. This isn't the Baltimore Ravens in the early 2000s. Sorry, man. This is it's a different league. It's a passing league. So your number one wide receiver and your number two wide receivers are way more valuable than your number one running back. It's more valuable to find a pass-catching tight end than it is a running back. The running back can be interchanged, and running backs aren't even earning second contracts. So that's the problem, Richard. And I have a lot of Sean probably has several segments over the last couple of months where I thoroughly explain this over and over again. And to me, I'm with Gordon, absolutely shocked that these people are freaking out that they're not getting paid. Thank you for the love on the super chat. Drago, there's too many running backs in the league. The young ones should try to play another position. Damn, Moss Bronson making money moves. Cold Sprouse is in. I don't know what Cold Sprouse means, but welcome aboard, Cole Sprouse. Nobody cares about soccer in South Florida. No, you're right. 20,000 people in the rain on Saturday kind of proved that, Cole. So you follow up with nobody cares about soccer, Cole Sprouse. This is a new name to the chat board, but apparently we added a big dummy. And then he follows up with, Big O, are the Patriots a threat at all this year for any team in the AFC East? What do you think, Cole? Can you think for yourself? Did you assess what they're doing? Because it's pretty elementary. NorCal says, Big O, you've been to our fan club weekend meet and greet before. Next year, we will need a new home for our party. Maybe we can set it up to use one of your sponsors' locations. Let's chat up soon. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Let's organize, NorCal. I like that idea. Thank you. I'll call you. Call you after the show. We'll talk later on in the afternoon, buddy. Troy Ortiz, Julie Haggerty. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Jonathan Jensen. Gordon Shumway coming in with a little Julie Haggerty also. Let's see. Filthy Cat is in. I hope Richard isn't the one that ran you and your wife over at the show. I doubt it. Richard doesn't sound like the kind of guy that would run me over and my wife at the show. No. That dude kind of like watches the show, but probably like a half-ass. Watches it every once in a blue moon or something, or maybe just watches a specific interview that he downloads or something like. Remember, there are some of you out there that get more of the show because you watch the whole show instead of watching a little blip here, a little blip there, or just, I only watch the Cam Wolf interviews. I only watch the Ira Winderman interviews. I only watch the Manny Navarro interviews. So that's all you watch, but you don't really know about all the ins and outs of the show and stuff that we talk about and things like that. And probably you don't really know me that well. You know what I mean? Like on the political side, when somebody thinks I'm Republican or they think I'm Democrat, and it's like, yeah, you don't listen to the show. You certainly don't listen to the show. You know what I mean? Crap like that. So, yeah. Big O, did you see that the average kicker makes more than the average running back now? I know it's skewed because there are more running backs than kickers, but it's still a crazy stat. Well, because there's a lot of running backs and they're backups and they lower the price and all that. So I get it. I understand what you're saying. But because of that, it's kind of skewed. So it doesn't really count. But the running back position is what it is. You know?
It's just not valued anymore. Big O, was that movie mentioned with Julie Haggerty? Bad Medicine? Is that what it was called? I'd have to look it up. Dude, if it has Pierce Bronson and it has what's her name? Ellen Barkin and Julie Haggerty, then that's the movie. It's a new movie. I forgot the name of it. I
Somebody said it up in the chat. Oh, it's The Outlaws. I forgot who had
That's
it.
That's it. It is called The Outlaws. Yes.
Somebody had it in the chat. Jonathan Jensen had it in the chat earlier. The Outlaws.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Entertaining. Entertaining. It had its moments. Had some funny moments. Let's see who else. Big O, you so mean. I thought you watched The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I did watch it with my daughter. It's the sweet life. Let's see. Big O, can I share a link with the chat? I'm a finalist in a nationwide contest. Need all the votes. So I can get to meet Tony Hawk? Put it there, bro. We'll support you. Send it to my Twitter. Send it at Big O Show, and we'll put it on Twitter, dude. We'll help you out. So do that. We might get more traction on Twitter. I mean, you'll get some traction here from the people on the chat board, which is good because there's a lot of people. So that's excellent. But also send it on my Twitter page. And we'll hook you up, dude. Theodore says, I'm from Montreal, Canada. I'll be in Montreal in about 3.5 weeks for Metallica. I've been a Dolphin fan since 1970. I have seen the Super Bowls, both of them 71 and 72. Very good, Theodore. Very good, sir. This year we go back to the Super Bowl and win it. Can I share it here or will the mods block? I don't know, dude. Just try it. Share, like I said, share it here and share it on Twitter so I can help you out on Twitter. Okay. Jets and Bills sending out 4 L's to Florida right now. You guys should be getting them in the coming months. Thank you. We love those L's. Appreciate it. It's huge for us. So Marcel needed for me to move him around, and we move him around, and he doesn't come in.
Out to him. I'm waiting to hear back.
All right. Cole Sprouse is a washed-up Disney actor. Was in the movie. Well, but see, you know what happens is the people that use like eggs or fake names or whatever, they have no real, balls. They don't have any guts. They're afraid to actually use their real names. That way they can actually say things that they normally wouldn't say. That way they can either act tough or say stupid shit or insulting stuff. And so they use fake names or no images of themselves and they put something else out there. It's kind of the way it goes. You know what I mean? Because you need to do that because you won't be able to help yourself and you're going to say something else, but you don't want to use your identity for it. So that's why I knew that wasn't a real name, but what are you going to do? It's like there's some people out there that they're not going to use their real names. They're kind of afraid. That's all. This year's Super Bowl one, I am in Miami and going to the first exhibition game against the Falcons. Any way to come see you where you are? Yeah, I mean, on that Friday, I may be, if it's a Saturday, I'll be a Friday at an Acura dealership, or Thursday at Hialeah Park. But on the preseason games, I don't do a pre and post anywhere. But you know what? Maybe I'll go to the game. Maybe I can meet you guys at the game. Maybe I'll do that this year for the preseason games. I'll go out to, what is it, 1 or 2? I don't even know. Do we have 1 or 2 home games? Because there's only 3. I don't even know. I have no idea. I haven't even checked that out. Big O, how come you only wear the old-fashioned Dolphins hat and never, because I would never wear the other logo. The other logo's dog shit. I'll never be caught wearing the whale. Never. Did you just tune in to the show? You just you're a new listener? Yeah, what's up?
I won August 11th against the Falcons. The other 2 are away against the Texans.
All right, so
and the Jaguars.
August 11th. August 11th. Yeah.
The 11th. I said the 11th. You're talking the 11th? The 11th.
Yeah, not going to be there. I'll be in Montreal with Metallica. Got priorities, bro. Yeah. Asking me about the new logo. Oh, Lordy. That's too funny. Rick D. Man, thank you for the love on Cash App. Again, my man sent 2 already today. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you. He says for running backs have short careers and highly injured. Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's a problem. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. What's up?
Question for you, because I saw something Omar retweeted from somebody else, and they said the only contract where running backs would get paid would be their first contract.
Right.
The only problem with that is now with the way the new rules are, most running backs aren't taken until the 3rd round, and you're not going to make a lot of money in your first contract.
Exactly. And it's already structured. So it's not only that you're getting taken in the second, third, fourth rounds, it's already structured for you too. So, yeah, you're right. It's mama, don't let your babies grow up to be running backs. That's all I got to say. Teach them to be cornerbacks. Teach them to be safeties. Well, actually, safeties aren't as but you can make it to a second contract with a safety. You know, but teach them something that's similar to that position that you might be able to do. But because running back there's glory in the position, but for a very short time. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way the position goes. Yeah, sucks. I'm waiting for the day Garfinkel changes the logo to the classic one. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. We need to keep the pressure on. I know he knows, but they can't change it back soon enough. I agree with that. Wow, under a month and we're getting football back. So pumped. Hell yeah. Cash the Jeweler says, see you at the Super Bowl, Jefe. We'll be there, baby. We'll be celebrating together. Theodore says, that's funny. We came from Montreal to see the football game. We gave up Metallica. LOL. Oh, yeah. No. I don't give up Metallica for a preseason game. No. Big O, your thoughts on UFO hearings in Congress on the 26th? I don't know. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to react to that? You know? What else do we have? Big O, let's say we don't get Cook or sign any running back. What running back on our team do you think becomes There's no go-to guy. You got to stop with this shit. It's a running back by committee. Mostert will be your best back. If he's got a hot hand, they'll ride him. If Jeff Wilson gets hot, they'll ride him. If A-Chain starts showing something, they'll ride him. You know what I mean? I think they're going to use all of them. I've told you, I think A-Chain is going to get 5 to 10 carries a game. He's going to be used. No matter what anybody thinks, they're going to use him. And Mostert will be used, and Jeff Wilson will be used. There's no go-to back at all. It's a matter of feel. It's a matter of who's running well. We have to, you got to, I've been trying to tell you guys, you got to stop. Leave the past. The bell cows, all that shit that you're tied to, you're so used to. You need to move on. You know what I mean? I know that it's hard, especially this is like women are way better than we are at this. We are such routine-oriented animals. You know, men are routine-oriented, and they have a hard time of adjusting because we love doing the same things, driving the same way to work, going to the bathroom at the same time of the day, eating our stuff that we like, going to this game, tailgating at this spot, whatever. We're very routine-oriented people, okay? And we have a hard time sometimes adjusting to changes. We don't like change in general. That's just the way our being is. And so the running back thing, it's kind of something for some of you out there. You are stuck in the past, and you've got to move on, dude. You know, the NBA is not posting up and playing in the paint and 85 points, you know, unless you're the Heat in the regular season, you can't hit threes. No, but I'm saying normally it's a 3-point game now. Okay. It's completely changed. Same thing in the NFL. Move on. There are no more bell cows. Everybody's trying to pretty much have a carousel. There are no go-to guys anymore. That's what's evolving and changing. You've got to change with the times. Get into crypto. All right, here we go. Let's go. Welt and Rayom and our Miami Dolphins report with Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with Marcel Louis-Jacques is in session.
Welt and Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All right. What, you went to the car so you can cool down after you were hot as hell for the last hour and a half out there at practice?
Basically just running to get like a crumb of silence and, you know, my own little studio here, basically. But, yeah, man, it was, I've never covered a Super Bowl, but I've covered NBA All-Star before. There were more reporters here for this than there were in Charlotte for NBA All-Star.
I just told everybody this morning that you had more people there than you would for a Heat playoff game, for any Dolphin regular season.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. Not even close. It doesn't matter what it is. Nothing compares to this guy.
The number I heard for today was 200.
Yeah, it's 200. The
number I have confirmed from Sunday, 500.
Yeah.
500 media credentials issued on Sunday.
Yep.
I got some push. I'm glad I finally have somewhere to like talk about this where I don't have to furiously type. I said it on Sunday that this was probably the biggest acquisition in American sports history, and immediately got pushback from people. LeBron, the big three, no one cares about the MLS. they're in last place. None of that matters. Y'all don't understand how damn popular Lionel Messi is.
That's pure ignorance. Those are people that don't know shit about soccer. They live only in sports in the United States, so they don't understand the size of the power that Messi and soccer has worldwide.
Like, people don't care about the NBA like that worldwide, bro. Like, they don't care about our athletes like the NFL like that worldwide. Tom Brady is everything in America. Tom Brady is a good-looking white guy in France. You know what I mean? Like, he goes to Italy. Tom Brady's not being swarmed in Italy. LeBron might, because it's hard to mistake a 6'8".
Basketball's more international. That's
like
way more.
LeBron might, but you have to be LeBron, Kobe, Steph, MJ, Durant. You have to be like Giannis. You have to be that level of talent, that level of superstar to get that treatment overseas. Like, it's not really the same outside of America. Leo Messi is drawing a crowd. It don't matter if you're in America, Thailand, Italy, Argentina, Bolivia, South Africa, Kenya. I don't care where you go. Leo Messi is drawing a damn crowd. Like, this is, from an on-court, on-field standpoint, sure, LeBron and that big three was probably the most impactful because of what it did to the NBA in the future. You know, it kind of ushered in the big three area, the super team era. And obviously they made 4 straight NBA finals when he got there. This is not going to have that sort of on-field impact for Inter Miami this season. But worldwide, Inter Miami is a global brand now. It is a globally known team now. This would be like LeBron. I said this would be like LeBron joining Wembanyama's team in France. This would be like LeBron joining the Shanghai Dragons, man, like the Shanghai Sharks. Like, this is maybe a fringe top 10 league in the world right now, and this is the last place team on that. And the most popular athlete in the world is here.
Listen, when the big three got together, it didn't make the Miami Heat social media #1 in all of pro sports. Well, when Messi joined Inter Miami, it made them #1 by miles and miles and miles and miles ahead of any pro sports team in the United States of America. That's it. 3.5 billion people viewed the intro Sunday. 3.5 billion.
That I'm gonna have to get that confirmed somewhere, because that's half the world's population. I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe, you know, streams of people watched it over and over again. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to get that super confirmed, because that's a lot of streams. That's the stat of the views. That's a lot of streams. That's half the world. That's half not the United States. That is half the planet. Well, I saw an interesting.
The entire planet plays the sport. That's the difference. The entire planet doesn't play football, basketball, hockey, and baseball. The entire planet plays football. The entire planet.
I saw an interesting note in the replies to one of my tweets on Sunday, that in comparing LeBron to Messi, nobody is saying LeBron's not a global star. Nobody's saying LeBron's not a global star. Messi has the entire population of the United States more followers on Instagram than LeBron does. It's one of those, like, I never realized how many people truly use Instagram until I look at like these like global stars. Until I look like the Shakiras and the Mbappes and the Messis. 480 million followers. Like, it's far and away the biggest acquisition in sports history, in American sports history. Like, it's not. I don't even really think it's close. But like, just seeing that kind of
stadium he goes to this year and next year and the year after, every single seat will be sold at its highest price ever. Okay. That's what's got that. Nobody does shit like that, dude. It's just, this guy's completely different. Now, let me ask you something. Here's the one thing that I just wonder, because obviously the play is needed and it's going to be the main source of the way you really connect with the guy. But we're Americans, bro. We're used to listening to our stars and them saying things to us, and then we're going off of whatever Tua said, whatever Brady said, whatever Aaron Rodgers said, whatever LeBron says, whatever. We're never going to do that with Messi because he doesn't speak our language. The translating shit just doesn't ever translate to Americans because that is the lamest interviews in the world are the ones you have to translate. So there isn't going to be that kind of a connection. How much does that, in a way, kind of hurt the process? I know they're still going to be successful and sell jerseys and the place is going to be packed and all that, but there isn't that connection that we normally have with athletes here in America.
I think that as long as Americans are stubborn to pick up soccer and hesitant to give soccer a chance, but it doesn't, then that's always going to be kind of like a hamper. So like if Messi came, I think that this country is in a better position to accept a soccer star now than we were when David Beckham came in 2007. I think people knew David Beckham because he's a celebrity, not necessarily because he was this soccer phenomenon. Like Leo, he is a celebrity because of his soccer prowess. He's not a celebrity by trade. He's not like LeBron. He's not in movies and commercials. He's in commercials, but he's not like that. He's not celebrity. He is a soccer star who is so talented that the world knows him. Of course, he's got advertisements. He's got ad campaigns and marketing campaigns, but like he ain't outside like that. This is a family man who is very good at soccer. But it doesn't. I was like that once upon a time. Soccer, that's for the Europeans. We don't need to do that. We don't need all that. I was dumb. That was dumb. This game, like I saw a comedian say who was like, the main complaint about soccer is what? It's too low scoring, right? It's too boring. It's like 2-3 or 2-1.
That's the idea. It's precious. I mean, that's kind of the idea.
The irony is football games are not 21-14. It's 3-2. We just attach more points to these scores, but in all reality, a touchdown is the same as a goal. So
right.
Like it's
right.
4-3. It's 4-2. It's not like it's not that far off. So like I don't know, man. Football games can be plenty damn boring. I've covered some horrible games in my life. Like soccer, the anticipation and the tactics, like it builds. It's exhilarating and it's nonstop. There's no lull. So like I think if people give it a chance, start with the international competitions. Give it a chance. Like I promise, it's an exciting sport. I was just like y'all.
So the comparison I can make to Messi is Shohei Ohtani, right? Because he doesn't speak our language. He needs a translator. He's the biggest freak of all of pro sports now, actually. In all of pro sports, there is no bigger freak than Shohei Ohtani because he's doing shit that nobody has ever done before. Not even Babe Ruth did it this good, okay? All right? So this guy is at another level, but we don't communicate with him. But yet he's still the biggest draw in baseball. He's still the guy everybody – I mean, the Yankees yesterday gave him a home run just to kind of start the recruiting process because, that's the only reason why you pitched to him last night in that moment. I mean, seriously, that was just stupid what they did, but I picked up on it. I said, that was a recruiting tool right there. They gave him a gift. He deposited, and that'll be nice when they talk in the offseason, No, seriously. But Ohtani's kind of the closest thing we have as an example to Messi, correct? In a way, the guy that can't communicate with us in our language, but we're still in awe of his talent.
I think in a way, yeah. The major difference obviously being that, I don't know outside of Japan or the absolute baseball diehards, I don't know how many people knew who Shohei Ohtani was when he got here. Like Messi has the advantage of having a built-in fan base in America, especially as this country becomes more and more Latino based. Like, I mean, shit, what's Miami-Dade? 70% Spanish speaking?
I don't know. There's a lot of us. Yeah, there's a lot.
I think it's legitimately 70% Spanish speaking. So like I think this is the perfect market for him. I'm curious to see how MLS markets him though, because he's not, like I said, He's not a celebrity like that. Like he's not. He's reserved. He's introverted. He's not the guy that's going to be. He's not like David Beckham out here. Signing autographs and
not even in Spanish is he much. Not even in Spanish is he going to give them much either. By the way,
is that so? Like they are relying on him. They are relying on him almost solely to build the MLS brand. I think he's going to try to do it more with his play, with his on-field play, and he's just that kind of draw. Like you said, unless he turns out to be, just, I don't know, a complete dud, unless he forgot how to play football, like if he forgot the Monstars took his talent, then it's going to be a sellout every time he touches the field. Every stadium is going to be sold out, especially in this first year. Like I can't wait to see the monetary value, the value of the MLS brand, how much it increases over the next fiscal year. Because
by the way, it's the same shit that we do in football, right? They let you watch them kick around the ball, a couple of individual drills, and then they kick your ass out 15, 20 minutes later, right? Is that kind of what? Okay.
Yeah, the main difference is that we could live tweet there.
Okay.
We can live tweet.
Because they're not practicing any kind of, strategy or anything. They're just doing regular drills. So everybody does the same drills. So it's not something that, although they do get kind of technical in football at times, even when they're doing one-on-ones, it's like, really, dude, I can't film this. Come on, but whatever. But I get it. Okay. So how was the reaction? Does he talk after practice or did he talk before? What's the deal?
I haven't gotten an update from Inter. He was supposed to talk yesterday and it was postponed indefinitely. I'm speaking with DeAndre Yedlin here within the next hour or so. So, after this, I'll probably change into that scoop behind me. Yeah, I'm excited. As somebody he's somebody who has European experience. I think he played for Spurs, he played for Newcastle, he played for Southampton, for Galatasaray in Turkey. Like he knows what it means to bring that European style to MLS soccer. So, really interested in picking his brain a bit here. And just as like a burgeoning, I'm telling you, man, like
he's a good talker. He's a good talker.
I play a lot of FIFA. I've played a lot of FIFA over my life. Don't get me wrong. That's how I know certain players. But like I really started following leagues and transfer rumors and roster movement, really started following it closely over the past year. And I'm hooked, man. Like I promise if you guys give it a chance, like it's fascinating. There's so many teams, so many levels, so many hidden gems you can keep an eye on, so many moves, so much money spent. Like it's almost like it kind of rivals the NFL in off-season or down-season activity. You know what I mean? Like they're not playing. The Premier League's not playing right now, but we're watching Declan Rice go for 100 million pounds. We're watching, will Moises Caicedo, will Brighton sell him to Chelsea? Like, because that's the cool thing. Like, you could just buy. Imagine in football if you could just buy players. If you could just buy a player, like just approach Tennessee and be like, hey, we'll give you $20 million for Derrick Henry. And that's how you trade it. Like, there's no trading. You don't have to trade about like picks or anything. It's just, it's a fascinating sport. The relegation, the stakes are high. It's just, it's worth it, man. It's worth it. I know we're talking a lot of soccer here. We're not really talking Dolphins yet, but like, it is that exciting, man.
Well, you're at practice. It'd be irresponsible of me to not ask about the biggest story today going on in South Florida. And by the way, the world is watching, Messi practice today because Apple had it on, so it's ridiculous. Who the hell does that? Only Messi that they're going to film his first practice. It's just silly stuff that tells you how much of a hunger there is for that guy and the move making it here.
Fans were there at 6:30 a.m. today.
I know. Yeah, I saw your post of the kid with the World Cup trophy.
I have never seen a Dolphins fan there before I am on training camp days when fans aren't allowed in. Granted, it's a little more guarded, but these people, they're lining up on the street. They got signs, jerseys, all that. I have never
the closest that you would have ever seen to it, and I witnessed it. I was there the day Ricky Williams reported for the first day. We had we had the entire stands full. The fire marshal could not allow anybody else in. Then you had, that green net that they put all the way around the fence in the practice?
Yeah.
Okay. They took down the green net, and there were people standing all the way around the fence.
I believe it.
Over in Davie. That was the closest that I'd ever seen. And people got there early and all that kind of stuff, because in order for you to get it, in those days, they weren't those printed tickets that they do online and all that. It was just first come, first serve. And so once they filled the stands, they couldn't allow anybody else in. And people were parking all over the place on Nova, dude. And that day, the Jimmy Day was big when he came. There was one more.
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the
Jimmy
really?
Johnson. Remember, I'm old, bro. I've been around the block a little bit.
I imagine that LeBron Day was big too. Like I imagine Shaq Day was big too.
But fans don't have access to practice. They don't watch it normally, so they can't go there and they can't really do anything.
They can't watch this either. I mean, 6:30 in the freaking morning. It's hot and sticky and humid out here, and they've got jerseys on just to get a glimpse of the guy.
Yeah. They were there early. I don't know how early, but dude, they were there early for the Ricky Williams one. That is the most impressive thing I've ever. That's the most impressive practice I have ever seen in my life, because I had never seen that many people at a Dolphin practice there in Davie. It was just like, and it was maybe one or two deep sometimes on the fence, depending on where you were. And the outside part of the fence was right off of the street. So people were there and they were on the grass, and then there's cars right behind them passing through, the university. So it was a little dangerous and everything, in a way. So it was, that was crazy. That was the only thing that I would say comes close to what you witnessed today.
Yeah, it's something special, man. It's something special.
All right, so Rick D. Man sent in a super chat. Thank you, Rick D. Man, for many of the contributions you've made. He says, I'm a Wilkins fan, but now with the run game being a thing of yesterday, does 18 million make sense anymore? Yes, I understand his sack numbers may go up with better edge play, but by how much to receive top 5 money? I still think he's going to go in the 18 range. When it's all said and done, I think he'll be somewhere in that 18 range, maybe 19. What do you think happens? To me, there's not a lot of panic for me. I think there's a lot of hot air. Eventually, the Wilkins deal gets done. The Sealer deal gets done. I'm not really that concerned, but your thoughts?
I think they get it done. I think they get it done. This is your captain of multiple years. It sends a bad message if you let your captain do everything he's asked for on the field and off, and you don't pay him. Like literally and figuratively, you don't reward him for it. So I'd expect the deal done.
By the way, he's one of the guys that you listen to and I hear about, and they tell us how much they love him, how much they respect him, how much they want him around. We've heard that from coaches, from Chris Greer, from guys. They tell you all the time how much they appreciate him. That's why I just think it's going to end up happening.
Look,
and by the way, who's to say? Here's the thing about all of this. Who's to say? Unlike Dalvin Cook's agent and Dalvin Cook, who have completely mishandled and oversold themselves so quickly that they gave their hand in, that Chris Greer says, I got you by the balls, so I'm only going this far. But the other guys, who's to say that Wilkins, who's a very bright guy, and his agent aren't sitting back going, you know what, Christian? There's no hurry here. Let's wait for the rest of these deals to come in so we have a better feel for what we're asking for. Let's not go to the bank. We might cheat ourselves out of some money. Let's wait for everybody. Let's give it some time. There might be that game might be being played by the Wilkins camp.
I wouldn't be surprised, but you know what it sounds like. You know what it sounds like when players aren't getting re-signed. When you ask about Mike Gesicki, he's earned the right to test the market. When I was in Buffalo, Jordan Phillips had 9.5, I think, sacks. Brandon Beane at the end of the season. Jordan's earned the right to test the market. Shaq Lawson, he's earned the right to test the market. That's what it sounds like when guys aren't coming back. They're not bringing guys back.
And there's no complaints from Wilkins camp, all this, that. They haven't talked to us. They haven't sent in. There's no complaints anywhere. I kind of get the feeling that that's what's going on.
I think he got an orange jersey during minicamp.
Yeah.
He will be there. Sealer will be there. I would expect Connor Williams to be there. A name that we don't talk about. Haven't talked about much. I would expect him to be there strictly because it's not super conducive to a player's bank account to skip training camp and mandatory practices. So he already skipped mandatory mini camp. I wouldn't expect him. I'd expect him to be there. Pay your center. If you're Chris Grier, pay your center. But if I'm him, I'm telling him, look, dude, we have to think about our priorities here. With all due respect, when we get Christian done, and we'll talk to you. If I'm Chris Grier, that's what I'm telling Connor Williams camp. Show up, keep doing your job. You will be taken care of. There's a hierarchy here. This is our homegrown first round pick. Respectfully, he's got a little more skin in the game than you here. We're going to take care of him first.
I'm with you there. All right. I got to ask you the Dalvin Cook thing. Does it happen next week, right before camp starts? And does he come to the Miami Dolphins? What's the percentage?
Hey, like I said, it is July 18th. So I said, the week of around the 20th is when I think I'll start taking things a little more seriously. We'll see. I don't have I wish I had more, inside information about what Dalvin is thinking and how he's this and that. I think there's that $4 to $7 million a year range. That's the wheelhouse. That's what'll get it done here in Miami from the Dolphins' perspective. I don't know what he wants, and what makes it even harder is that none of these franchise tag guys have signed extensions. So there's no real market. Nobody has set the market for a running back this offseason. So we don't know what the value is. We don't know the value. Tony Pollard franchise tag. Barkley, they didn't want to pay him more than 11 mil or something like that. I think it was 11 was the number. Josh Jacobs, they didn't want to pay. So, like, if those guys, and I take those guys over Dalvin. So, like, if those guys aren't getting that, I don't know what Dalvin wants.
Yeah, no, I think he ends up a Dolphin when it's all said and done. I thought his agent, that $7 million story from Minnesota, that was the most desperation move I've ever seen by an agent in a long, long time. They have mishandled the way you go about negotiations this offseason. They did a poor job of selling themselves, and I think they also didn't measure this right. I think they expected a lot more than what ended up happening. I think they're shocked. By the way, were you shocked at all the people that were shocked on social media, whether it was media, whether it was agents, whether it was running backs, shocked that they're not getting the money? I'm like, what the hell?
A little bit, because there's been kind of a renaissance of running backs, rising to prominence and effectiveness, and running backs going in the first round. So I thought maybe the tide was starting to turn a bit, but I don't think there's an easy solution to it. I think they do deserve to be paid. I think maybe it may be the fair thing to do is to shorten the rookie contracts for running backs specifically, like have position specific lengths, because they're wasting their prime right now on a rookie deal. They're wasting their good first 4 or 5 years. Well, it could be, if you're a first round running back, 5 years.
The owners aren't going to make that suggestion, by the way.
Not to mention, you probably got ran to death in college playing for free.
Right.
So, like, it's a tough position to be. It's a tough position to be in, literally.
Well, the players' union is the one that's better fighting for it, because the owners are going to love keeping it the way it is, because they don't even have to give a running back a second contract anymore. And it's like what Sean was talking about earlier on the show, that you're not even going to get first round money anymore. You'll be lucky to get second round money. You're probably going to get third, fourth round money to start your career, and you're not even going to see a second contract. So there used to be a lot of first round running backs, and they all used to see a lot of second contracts. Now you're going to barely see any in the first, barely any in the second, and you're going to barely see any ever get a second contract. That's some screwed up stuff, dude.
Yeah, I read somewhere that Le'Veon Bell ruined the running back market for everybody when he sat out a year, got his big deal, and then did nothing. Right. But like when you look at the guys who have signed second deals of the past, we'll call it decade, big deals. Christian McCaffrey still effective. Derrick Henry still effective. Zeke Elliott was effective and then tailed off. Alvin Kamara.
That became a bad deal. The Georgia kid that signed with the Rams became a bad deal.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, there was another one that also became a bad.
I think Marshawn Lynch got paid, and Marshawn
Yeah.
Lynch worked out. So like, it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
he was kind of worn down already at that point.
I'm saying, like, it's not like when you have a superstar running back and pay them, it's not like their productivity just falls by the wayside completely. But like, you can also look at those teams and say the only team that has achieved real success, is San Francisco and Tennessee. And San Francisco had to trade for him. They didn't pay him per se. They traded for him. Tennessee hasn't really done shit.
They were paying their quarterback too. That's where conveniently they could pay for that guy, because they weren't paying a quarterback, because Jimmy Garoppolo is earning $6 million only, and you're not paying Brock Purdy and Trey Lance is on a rookie deal. So that's why they were able to get away with that. Most teams won't do what the Niners did. What the Niners did was smart. Surround the young kid with as much as possible, make it easy for him. That was intelligent what they did, and they can afford to do that. Most teams won't be able to do that. Most teams won't do that, and especially with an injury-prone running back like him. All right, what do you got going on ESPN? Because I know you got to go.
Well, I will be on ESPN at, I think, 2:20 to talk Messi. What's it called? Nobody invite Brian Looper. I see the chat, the complaining about soccer guys. You know, I guess y'all don't watch, but for the rest of us who are ready to join the freaking revolution, I'll be on at 2:20. And that's that. I'm interviewing De'Andre Yedlin. I don't know if that's going to be aired anywhere, but I do got to run.
All right, baby. Appreciate you, man. Have fun out there.
Sure.
Don't sweat too much. Stay hydrated. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques with our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins Inter Miami report, I guess. We got to do a little bit. There's no way he's going to be at the Messi practice, and I'm not going to ask him. I'm sorry. Look, I get it. Some of you don't like soccer. I don't give a shit. Go complain to somebody else. I don't give a shit. I've been doing radio in this town for 33 years. I've been talking Fusion and Strikers and Inter Miami before Messi and Miami FC. And I will continue to talk about it during Messi and after Messi. So I don't care. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. You don't like it? Too bad. Go away. Come back later if you want. But that's not who I am. I love boxing. I love MMA. I love baseball, soccer, hockey. It's not just football and basketball. I watch all kinds of things. I watch all kinds of sports. Hell, I went to the drone racing league. I actually enjoyed that. That was actually fun. Not that I'm going to like totally get into it or whatever, but I'm an all sports guy. And so this has always been an all sports show. Always. Yes, it centers around the Dolphins. Obviously, I talk a lot of Dolphins, but I've always been a guy that talks all sports because I'm an all sports guy. And obviously, you know, as I've gotten older, I'm a little bit more about other things too. I have other interests. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so sometimes you're not going to get what you want here. Sometimes I'm going to talk about things that you don't like. What can I tell you? Brian Walters, Bitcoin's at 29,849. Buy. That's what I would do. If I don't have any Bitcoin, I would buy. I would NSYNC it. Buy. Ragin says, time to see them go back to the late 70s, early 80s uniforms and logos. Would be nice. Gordon says it's going to take a generational running back going into a second contract for a GM and an agent to figure out how they pay a running back and set a new precedent. None of these current running backs are that special or young. Yep. But even if it's generational, you kind of answered your question there, Gordon. It'll be a freak that only the freak you sign. You don't sign anybody else. So they'll look at the other running backs and say, yeah, but you're not that guy, so we can't give you that contract. So, yeah, it's not something that's going to be commonplace now. It hasn't been commonplace for a while now, second contracts. Samuel says, I'm excited about the Messi signing. He'll bring over some other players that are friends of his. Inter Miami, I watch all the time. My sister had season tickets. Enjoy. Chad says, Arsenal signed Declan Rice last week. 105 million, 24 years old, Premier League proven. Huge upgrade in the midfield. You are correct. Hopefully Arsenal can have another great season. Andrew says, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. Oh, I'm here always since I was 10 listening to you. Damn, Andrew. Thank you, bro. Oh, remember that Tampa Bucks fan that got Bitcoin for returning Brady's ball? Oh, that had to be a fan. If he got Bitcoin, he's smart. He is smart. So, yeah. And Bitcoin right now, I think it's at a monster buying zone, to be quite honest. 30,000 is very, very affordable. 29,899. Yeah, it's just under 30. It's been stagnant in that 30, 31 range for a few weeks now, which is the thing that people don't understand is that's awesome news because it was like that for 25 and people conveniently forget that. And it had a while where it couldn't break 21. And then it broke 25, and now it's in the 30, 31 range, and it'll break it, and it's going to go to 36, 38 or something like that, and then it'll find another floor. And that's it. What you don't want is pure parabolic run, because whenever you have a pure parabolic run, it's going to come down. But if you have a systematic run where you're going up a level and you find a floor and you stay there for a while, and then you go up again and find another, that is so bullish. It's not even funny, okay? And if you look at the Bollinger Bands and all that stuff, it is getting super tight right now in Bitcoin, which signals some volatility coming. I think the volatility is going to be an explosion up now, okay? Because there's not a selling zone right now. A lot of the people that are in Bitcoin right now are the long-time holders, like myself. You know, that's kind of the way it is. It's not the people that buy it now and sell it a week or a month or 6 months later. These are the people that have been holding it for a year, for 2 years, for 3, for 5, for 10. So that is your foundation right now. I think you're about to get a volatile move to the upside. I think that's what's happening right now. Finally, we've been waiting for it. Finally, it is happening to me. Let's see. Big O Montreal is looking forward to welcoming you. Do not forget your construction hat since you will be going to the Big O, which is concrete monstrosity. All right, sir. Thank you, Evan. Let me know if you need any tips and where you may host your show. Well, no, we'll be hosting the show from the hotel. That's where I'm, unless there's a bar out there in Montreal that wants to step up, that would be kind of fun. Is there a sports bar in Montreal? Do we have a Dolphins bar in Montreal? Now, that would be awesome. Is there a Dolphins bar in Montreal? Because I would go broadcast at that place. Now, that would be a winner. Evan Posner, you, sir, have a job. Okay? All right? This is your job should you decide to accept it. Find a Miami Dolphins bar in Montreal. Track down the manager, the owner. Show him our Twitter page. Show him the YouTube page so he sees that there's a bunch of followers and all that kind of stuff. And tell him I'm going up there for Metallica. And I need a place to do a show. Okay? You could give him our business number too, 786-754-4664. Any business that wants to advertise on our show and be a sponsor one of our segments, we can travel to you, 786-754-4664. I'm going to Montreal. There's got to be a Dolphins bar in Montreal. It's got to be. I'm counting on it. So, Evan Posner, You, sir, have a job to do now. Can you do what Eddie Lepp did for us? Eddie Lepp's the one that made it happen for us up there in Daytoners. So let's go. Because I'm not in those towns. So if you guys want me to go to those towns, you got to help me. You know, when I go to those towns, I don't know where the Dolphin bars are. Evan Posner says, you got it. I accept. Nice job by you. King Short says, hell yeah, take off, Big O. Well, we're going to Montreal anyways. I'm going to be there for 4 days. You know? So if I'm going to be there for 4 days, why not, visit a Dolphins bar in Montreal where maybe I can do the show from there? That'd be pretty cool. I like that. Marlins lost yesterday to the Cards 6-4. Sanchez and De La Cruz, man, he has had such a good year. Sanchez hit his 10th home run and De La Cruz hit his 11th. Today they continue the set against the Cards, 7:45. They've lost 4 in a row, so they got to start winning some games here, okay? Let's hope that they can turn this thing around now, start winning some games. I don't want to go the other way. Cam Whitmore named MVP of the Summer League. How about that? They drafted Jaime Jaquez, and he ended up getting injured. Looked good early on, but then got injured. And then Cam Whitmore has looked really good and ends up becoming the MVP of the Summer League. So there's quite a few of you that have complained about passing up on Cam Whitmore because he was supposed to be a lottery pick and fell all the way down to 20, right? Just so you'll know, okay? Cam Whitmore's playing well. If you're trading for Damian Lillard, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to take Cam Whitmore anyways. So don't kill yourself so much about the Cam Whitmore move, whether it works out or not. I don't know if they're going to take Jovic or Jaquez. I don't know. But you kind of figure that if Whitmore was there, they probably, after the summer league he's had, they probably would take him. You know what I'm saying? So just don't overreact too much about the Cam Whitmore thing because, first of all, Jaime Jaquez could end up becoming the better player than Cam Whitmore. Maybe Cam Whitmore's attitude or whatever it is, an issue that he'd had, didn't rear its ugly head right now, but it will down the line, and then you'll understand why they passed him up. But overall, because I had a buddy of mine tell me the same thing, like, oh, dude, they could have drafted him. And then I said, dude, if they draft him, it doesn't matter. They're trading him for Damian Lillard. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're probably right. So you're still getting Damian Lillard. That's the reason why you're going to win a title. You need a Damian Lillard, not Jaime Jaquez or Jovic or Cam Whitmore. Neither one of those three guys are going to carry you to a title. But Damian Lillard will help out Jimmy Butler and help him win a title. But just so you know, for those of you that want to overreact about Cam Whitmore, chill out, okay? There's a good chance he would never make it to the regular season anyways, and he'd be in a Blazers uniform. Robert Tabares owns a great bar in Montreal. He'd be happy to have you. Really? What's the connection, Big Bob? Talk to me. Send me a DM. You get my business number, 786-754-4664. Have Mr. Tabares reach out. What kind of bar? Where is he in Montreal? Oh, how's my French? Not good. Not good. And even for salads, I go Thousand Islands, not French dressing. French dressing's all right, but I'm more of a Thousand Islands guy. I've seen Cam in college. Rosendo, did you just listen to me? You're complaining about nothing. he would get traded for Damian Lillard anyways. So whine for nothing. I am making fun of people like you, Rosendo. That's the idea. That's the reason why I brought it up, because I made fun of my friend when he said the same shit. Oh, dude, I like this Cam Whitmore more than Hawkins. And I go, so what? He would have been traded for Lillard. And he's like, oh, God. So you're overreacting for nothing. Cam Whitmore would probably be part of the Damian Lillard trade anyways. And again, for the second time, because I guess you didn't hear it, Cam Whitmore, Jokic, or Jaime Jaquez are not winning you the NBA title. You need Damian Lillard. So I'm trading any three of those guys for Damian Lillard. So it doesn't really matter if it was Jaquez or Whitmore, they would probably get traded. So far, the only international Dolphin bars I see are in London, England, and in Mexico, according to 305 Sports Babe. I have no idea what the 305 Sports Babe does with restaurants around the world. So I don't know how she tracks them, but I got to figure there's more than just those two Dolphins bars outside of the country. It's got to be other places, other countries that have Dolphins bars. Hell, didn't they find one like in Syria or some shit like that once? Or Libya or Iran or Iraq or some shit? Somebody showed us a Dolphins bar in the Middle East. That's nuts. All right, let's do it. Manny Navarro is ready to go to talk a little Miami Hurricanes with our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
The man, the myth, wait a minute. You're in your home. I thought they would send your ass to go cover Messi this morning.
No,
you
brother.
Sweat your ass off over there with 200 other people.
I think we've got some national reporters there, so I was allowed to continue working in my college football bubble, which is good.
Holy shit! The Athletic actually flew somebody down to cover Messi.
Yes, I believe so. I believe they're down here.
No, obviously they don't live here because they would have used your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah, because we were just talking about this with Marcel. Like, we've never seen anything like this, dude. Nothing, not the big three. Nothing comes close to this. Like, global. This is just ridiculous. What is landed in South Florida territory? This guy is a beast like no other, bro. It's amazing. Look at that, the Athletic, and you said. You made it sound like they might have sent more than one.
There could be more than one person here. I'm not sure exactly who would have made it down. I know that they've been covering the story pretty well in the Athletic, what it means to the MLS and everything else, and so yes, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than one person here.
Dude, I know that it wasn't your. I don't think it even was your beat then. Do you remember the first day of Ricky Williams?
Yes, it was pretty nutty. I remember that. There were a lot of people there.
They were all around the fence because it was so packed that they couldn't. Were you there that day?
I was not there. I wasn't covering the fence.
You remember it?
Yeah.
That's what I told Marcel, that out of my entire life of covering sports, that's the closest to, and that doesn't even come close to Messi.
No.
Okay? Still doesn't even. When do we have 200 media members? That's what was there this morning. 200 credentialed media members. We don't have 200 for the NBA Finals, dude.
No. If that, yeah, you're right. We probably don't because people just don't travel anymore. A lot of people just stay where they are and watch the game and ride off of where they're at. So you're right. I mean, this is a global phenomenon, and it's on a stage, a level that we've never seen here in South Florida.
Crazy. All right, another blue chipper for Mario, defensive tackle. Talk to me about Travius.
Yeah, a kid out of Bluntstown, which is up in FSU territory, up in that Panhandle type area.
You said Bluntstown? Is that where we were talking about Ricky Williams again?
We were. That's right. He's from the same city as Ricky. No, that's the name of the high school and the small town that he's a part of up there in the Panhandle, very close to Florida State. A kid that I think Florida State probably thought they could slow play. You know, like, hey, this kid's in our backyard. We'll wait till the fall. We'll put the pressure on them to commit to us then. And they may still do that. But the bottom line is Mario, I think, made a really strong push with his staff to get this kid because he's big. He's 6'4", 305, super athletic, runs track, plays basketball. He's kind of a very old school Miami defensive tackle in the sense of just tremendous athletes. And so I think he's a big pickup for Miami. They needed that position. They already had a local kid from here who's a little smaller, Dalen Russell, who's about 6'1", 270. Not a big kid, but a fast kid, athletic kid. Our Travius is 305, man. He is 6'4", 305. He's a grown man. So hopefully for Miami, it sticks. They get him to sign in December, and Florida State doesn't have some tremendous season and goes 12-0 and decides, hey, we're gonna put the pressure on this kid to come to us now. And hopefully Miami's able to keep him.
Got ACC Media Days coming?
Next week, yes. Tuesday through Thursday next week. I'll be in Charlotte for that. I'll be flying out Monday. I'll be there Tuesday, which is going to create some interesting scheduling for us because I'll be there usually working on that Tuesday. I'll be back the following Friday in South Florida, so we'll have to figure out a good time. I don't know.
We always do, bro. We'll
figure it out. I don't know when Miami is talking Tuesday. I just don't know what time yet. You know how that works. We don't find out till the very end, to the very last minute. Hey, Mario's available for you. Here you go. So that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. We'll get a chance to talk to him. I think Matt Lee, the new center, Tyler Van Dyke, and Cam Kitchens. I think those are the three guys going to represent Miami there at the ACC Media Days as far as individual players. And of course, we'll get a chance to talk to Mario. So. Yeah, I mean, we're here, bro. See, practice starts August 1st, that Tuesday. That'll be the first fall practice. And then it's just business. It's go time. It's get ready for the season. We'll see who shows up that first practice and isn't in uniform because they're recovering from off-season surgery still or whatever it is that they're doing. We'll get a good gauge on day one where everybody is. And then it's position battle time. And I think, there'll be some interesting ones here in fall camp.
What are the interesting battles on the offensive line?
Well, I think left tackle. I think that one's obviously interesting because we don't know where Zion Nelson is in terms of his health. He didn't participate this spring as he was still recovering from a second knee surgery that he had. So if Zion is healthy and can get back to being the kind of guy that he was a year ago when people were talking about him, maybe he is able to get that left tackle job back. If not, it probably ends up being Jalen Rivers or potentially the true freshman, Francis Mauigoa, who is an absolute stud, who I think will be one of the starting two offensive tackles when the season starts. So it'll be an interesting position battle there. I think, left guard and center are pretty much wrapped up. You've got Javian Cohen from Alabama, who I would assume would be the left guard. You got Matt Lee, who'll be the center. Right guard, you'll have Inez Cooper, most likely. Unless Jalen Rivers, gets pushed inside because Zion Nelson is back and is healthy. And then, like I said, Mauigoa will be the other one. They'll be about 7-8 deep on the offensive line in terms of guys that I think physically have the size that Mario wants to use and play. They'll have other experienced guys that are smaller that played last year, but those guys are kind of break glass in case of emergency type guys.
Okay. All right. What are you working on the Athletics so folks can check you out?
Yeah, so conference realignment it's the off season. Conference realignment has been a big topic that we've written a whole lot about at the Athletic, kind of reviewing what's happened here in the last 30-40 years with team switching schools. And so I've been working on a little project here regarding Miami and Florida State and the SEC, all right? Because everybody now O says, man, I wish Miami and Florida State would have gotten into the SEC years ago, when they had that opportunity, right? Because that's the school, that's the league rather, with all the TV money. Miami and Florida State are obviously locked in to the ACC's TV contract because of the grant of rights through 2036. I've been talking to some people who were part of Miami in the past, people who were part of the Big East when Miami went to the Big East, trying to reach people at Florida State and the SEC to tell this story of how close did Miami actually come to going to the SEC? How close did Florida State come to going to? Do you remember any of that stuff, Big O? This is back in 1990. Do you remember what happened back then?
Of what was it again? Say it again.
Miami and Florida State in the SEC. Do you remember any of that stuff? Did you ever think it came close to happening?
No. I never came. So did it?
Florida State had a chance, and they basically gave the SEC the double middle fingers and moved on to the ACC, who they thought, because of basketball back then. The same thing with Miami with the Big East. Hey, basketball.
Then they were powers in football. They didn't need anybody's help at that moment. They didn't think they needed the SEC's help, but what they needed was their basketball programs to generate more revenue. And since the ACC is the best basketball conference, that was the thinking. We will elevate that conference because we're Florida State, we're the University of Miami, but they will elevate our basketball programs because they are the ACC. And what they didn't end up, realizing that down the line,
football
they weren't going to
pay all the bills
relevant anymore. And really, in the end, it was only going to be FSU, Miami, and Clemson that were going to be relevant and real in that conference for a long, long time. Whereas the SEC has way more teams. So yeah, hindsight is always 20/20. But it's like, look, I didn't agree with the Whiteside signing by Riley, but I understood what he was thinking. I understood that he thought he was finding another special big man and they could develop him. And I know Riley's love for big men. So, like, I understood the method behind the madness, even if I disagreed with it. Well, guess what? Here I didn't disagree with it, but I definitely understood at that moment. Context. You need context at that moment. You have to know how they felt about their football program and then how they were feeling about their basketball program. And that's why it made all the sense in the world at that moment to do that. You know?
No, you and I know this history because we grew up here, but I have a lot of people who always ask me, why didn't Miami end up in the SEC, right? Like, what happened? Why didn't they, And so I felt the need to tell this story of kind of, and by the way, this is the part that was interesting to me because I wasn't alive for it, but in the 1930s and 40s and 50s, Miami and Florida State were going to SEC meetings every year trying to get into the SEC. So there's a little bit of an interesting backstory. Yes, and believe it or not, Neyland, who the stadium at Tennessee is named after, right? Neyland Stadium.
Don Neyland.
Who was in charge of Sergeant Brigadier Neyland is what they what his official title was back then. But yes, he and the folks at Kentucky were actually pushing for Miami to get in the SEC in the late 1940s. The University of Florida was pushing, and they got voted down 7-3. So I have a whole story just sort of talking about why Miami hasn't landed in the SEC, why Florida State ultimately passed on them to get into the ACC, and that'll.
But I have the gist of it, right, from back in the day of.
Yes, the 90s. You're right. The 90s. You're right. Right.
Yeah.
So
we lived it, bro. We lived it. It's just a whole different ballgame when you're old and you have some perspective. What'd you think of the Brett Venables comments and the shots at Deion Sanders?
Well, listen, some of these coaches want to get some attention, right? Brent Venables, I think, is kind of a cocky guy. He's had some excellent defenses at Clemson in the past. He's also really, really good at stealing signs. Oh, that's why he's so good at defense, by the way. He and the Clemson staff for many years, from what I've heard from other coaches, are probably the best in the business at stealing offensive signs. So I think this is just a guy who's very confident in himself. He went 6-7 in his first year, and he likes talking a little trash. So he's going after Deion and Mario because I think it's an attention thing for him.
Oh, he went after Mario? I didn't see the shots at Mario. I saw the shots at Deion.
Yeah, no, he went after Deion because the whole, in terms of the way he's handled, flipping the roster at Colorado and dumping kids left and right.
For those of you who don't know, he says we're another year in establishing our standards and our cultures and our values. That matters. A year ago, I challenged the guys. I wasn't like Dion that gave guys a bunch of pink slips. Now, this guy's a fucking asshole. I just want you to know this, okay? No, I'm rooting against this guy from here on out. You know, asswipe, you went to Oklahoma. He went to freaking Colorado.
Different job.
Okay?
Absolutely.
They are one of the worst programs in all of college football, Brent. You went to Oklahoma and went 6-7, asswipe. You better start proving something because you inherited talent, jerk off. You're in Oklahoma. Dion didn't inherit anything at Colorado, and Mario didn't inherit anything at Miami. You goddamn right they're going to give pink slips to people and get them the hell out. I don't have a problem with that, to be quite honest. I actually have a problem with him when he hasn't done anything and you're, taking shots at people. And did he take a shot at Mario too?
He did. Now, he didn't name Mario by name, but, they're recruiting some of the same kids. Miami and Oklahoma are. They're going after many of the same targets, including a five-star defensive lineman. So he was quoted over a week ago saying, yes, we went 6-7, or we had a 7-loss season, but it's different. It's not like we lost to Middle Tennessee State and lost to Florida State 45-3. So he was basically taking a shot at Miami because he knows that, hey, there's recruits listening, and I want them to know that, hey, we're in a different state than Miami is what he was trying to convey to.
Well, that asshole better step up big time because I'm going to have a field day with him. Okay? No, seriously. I mean, I think Dion did what he had to do, just like I think Mario is doing what he has to do. I'm pretty consistent about all of this. Brother, you get to a business walks. A new CEO walks in. I don't like that manager. I don't like this department. I'm eliminating this. I mean, you've got presidential candidates that are telling you ahead of time, I'm going to eliminate this. I'm going to eliminate that. This happens at all levels of business, of anything going on. So whether a coach comes in and wants to clean house, brother, I don't have a problem with that. Lots of people aren't going to fit your system. Some people aren't going to fit your style of coaching. Whatever it is, you may just think he's not good enough or whatever. You're not a good enough salesperson. You're not a good enough sewer. You're not a good enough car washer. You're not a good enough broadcaster. You're out of here. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes, dude.
Yeah.
I just, there's a part of me, it just, like,
man.
man.
Well, listen, Venables, the fact that he's this outspoken right now, good for him. He's trying to create waves, create attention for himself. But listen, he's going to the SEC next year. And,
okay, but Dion is also brash. Dion is also out there. He's not using his platform to go trash Colorado State and trash the Texas coach. And I don't hear Dion doing that.
No, you're right.
It's just. I just found it classless, I just didn't think there was any place for that at that moment. And plus, who are you to tell how somebody else runs their program? You know what I'm saying? And be careful, because if Dion so far has had more success as a head coach than you have so far, Brett Venables, because he did more at Jackson State than you've done so far as a head coach. Be very careful. Be very careful, because you don't know. Maybe Dion doesn't work at this level, or then maybe Dion's a star at this level. I didn't like it. I just thought it was, I thought it was
a little classless. Yeah.
What do you got, Sean?
Well, no, because I wanted to bring up, and somebody in the chat already brought it up, but Venables was talking about rivalry games and losing bad. They lost to Texas 49-0 in their rivalry game last year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They got embarrassed. And by the way, dude, I mean, when they've got to face a schedule, let's not forget, right? Like Oklahoma for many, many years, Texas has been down for a long time in the Big 12, kind of like Miami, right?
Yeah.
Like, who have they had to play in the Big 12 over the years? They've dominated that conference in large part because they didn't have much in the way of competition. I'm very interested to see how good Oklahoma really is when they've got to play the big boys every single week.
Me too. I'll be watching it extra close now that Mr. Venables is, of course. I had no idea he's the new Saban. So I guess, he can. And if you're Saban and you want to take shots at people, well, dude, you're Nick Saban. That's fine. If you're Kirby, you've proven that you're the guy. And
Yeah.
if you say somebody else is not doing it right, well, we're not doing it the way they are. That's fine. It might not be right to do it, but at least you got something to stand on. But you're 6-7 with Oklahoma talent, bro. Shut up, please. Shut up. Seriously. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Follow him on Twitter and Manny_Navarro, and please subscribe to The Athletic so you can get coverage on anything and everything going on in the world of sports here in the United States and internationally too, with a little football. Manny, we'll catch up later in the week, my friend. Appreciate you.
All right, good talking to you. Talk to you soon.
You got it. There you go, Manny Navarro. Seriously, I am not a fan of Brett Venables. That's your Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right. Tony says if I host a show in Montreal, I have to wear Alan's Expos hat. No, I'll get my own Expos hat.
Some news coming out of, I guess, Jorge Mas is talking at the practice.
Okay.
Or they're talking to him. I'm not sure. Didn't seem like there was a press conference going on, but Alex Winley saying on the Open Cup final, Jorge Mas said that if Miami reaches the final and they are the host, there are discussions to move the game to Hard Rock Stadium.
Wow, they must have gotten a nice number from the people at Hard Rock Stadium. It must have not been a brutal number for sharing. And they must have said, okay, let's do the numbers. We can still make way more money over here than we will in our stadium. Let's move it over. That'll be very cool. And you know what? They can handle the media, which they can't. They probably got the taste the other night that when we have games, we're going to have to sell seats. We're going to have to take out seats that we need to sell and give it to the media. And they have to give them seats under roof. They can't give them the supporter seats on the edges, on the ends. You know what I'm saying? So, wow. Okay. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. Did you hear of a British cruise line that docked in the Faroe Islands? Coincidentally, it was the time of year for the whale run. That's terrible. Wow. Okay. This is just like the Heat fan upset we didn't draft Maxey when the Heat would have traded him for Kyle Lowry. Yeah, exactly. It's just to complain about Cam Whitmore is just ridiculous at this point because it doesn't matter. He would have been part of the trade. What else do we have? Oklahoma got blown up by. Yes, thank you, Dave. My cousin owns a cool spot in Montreal called the Blind Pig. I will reach out. All right, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Everybody working for a home for us in Montreal. I'd love for a Dolphins bar. But, again, if there's no Dolphins bar, then Karen or the other gentleman there that was talking about it. Again, write down my business number, 786-754-4664. Or, Karen, they can email me at Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Okay, that's the email. So if you guys find a bar in Montreal that will host us, by the way, they gotta treat us to lunch. That's kind of, the give off there. Okay. Yeah, you gotta cater it at least, But anyway, business line they can call 786-754-4664 or email bigoradioshow at yahoo.com. Okay. That'll be cool. That'll be really cool if we can do a couple shows out there. Right. Big Bob was the other guy talking about Robert Tabares owning a great bar. So there you go, Big Bob. You guys have all the info. Okay. What else do we have going on? How about Butler? Jimmy Butler is in China making he's got his shoes and all that good stuff. So he is obviously making a business trip out in China and talking about how confident he is for a championship. And you got to love Jimmy, dude. I mean, he's just, it's always, he is fine-tuned and only has one agenda, winning. And he says it's always the same expectation. I have to be able to get us over the hump to win a championship. I know that the group of guys that are always placed around me, around myself, is capable of it. Maybe we all got to do a little bit more, but a championship is coming to the future in Miami. Is he talking about an MLS championship, a Dolphin championship, or is he talking about a Heat championship? I'm joking around. It's all of them. No, seriously. Look, Jimmy Butler is the guy that him and Spo, they could be down to 4 players. Okay, everybody's fouled out. There's no bench. They've only got 4 players on the court. 2 of them are playing with blown knee ligaments. And Spo, after the game, is saying, we have enough. And Jimmy's saying, hey, man, if I could have made a couple more shots, we could have won the game. No excuses. So let's also take it with a grain of salt when we're talking about Spo and when we're talking about Jimmy Butler. Those are 2 guys that have no interest in talking about losses or thinking about losing or anything like that. They only think about winning and winning it all, and they always have enough. Okay, you and I know that a lot of times, like down the stretch here, they didn't have enough, but you can't tell Jimmy Butler that, hey, you needed another star. No, we didn't. We had enough. Spo, do you think you had? Yes, we had enough. We just got to play with a little bit more of this, that, whatever, and he'll give you some, weird-ass excuse that makes no sense. Spo, come on, bro. You don't have enough. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. They always have enough. So I'm not surprised. That headline is everywhere. Oh, Jimmy predicts a championship. When does Jimmy not think he's going to win a championship? When does Spo ever tell you, we're not good here. We don't have enough right now. Those guys don't know what excuses are. They don't even know what reasoning is, because it's actually literally reasoning. There's a reason why you really didn't win, okay? It's not your fault, Spo. Bam and Dragon got injured in the bubble. Not your fault, dude. This year, you don't have another star. It's not your fault. You did an awesome job. You can't ask for any more. Gotta love those guys, man. Gotta love them, man. They are just absolutely amazing. True Fin fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, will Riley remembered as a Laker or as a Heat? Oh, Laker always. Brother, that's what made him. The Armani suits, the slick back hair, commanding everything. It's 5 championships. No, man. No, he'll be a Heater. I mean, a Laker is what people in general will remember him. Will we remember him as a Heat guy? Of course, because he built everything up here, and we appreciate it immensely. You know what I'm saying? So he'll always be Heat to us. But I think in the general public, Showtime Lakers, man. Showtime Lakers. That is Riley at his finest, man. That's Riley at his peak coolness. Oh, it was still pretty cool here in Miami, but the success he had with the Lakers, that can never be ever duplicated. You know what I'm saying? So no, he'll be remembered by the general public as a Laker. By us, obviously, it'll mean more to us with the Heat because we don't give a shit about the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it'll be a Laker. It's what he deserves. It's kind of what it is. What's happening? Oh, nice hat game again. Starting to sound like a broken record here. LOL. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's a new one to the collection that I had to add. So it was too sweet to pass up. Way too sweet to pass up. I saw it and I said, I got to have it. I gots to have it. And now it's part of the rotation. Oh, let's go over some birthdays today. Since we always go around and go over the B days, here we go. There's some pretty good birthdays today. Some pretty big names. First of all, we start with Vin Diesel, who is 56 years old. The best lips in Hollywood right now. Priyanka Chopra. She is 41. Kristen Bell. What was the name of that fun show of hers that she was like a high school sleuth, a private eye? Veronica Mars. I enjoyed Veronica Mars, by the way. I thought Veronica Mars was a fun show. And the stoner dude that's in, what is it, Party Down or whatever, right? The show where they cater and all that. Isn't he in that one too, right? I like him. Nelson Mandela was born on this date. We lost him, unfortunately, in 2013. He was born in 1918. Wendy Williams is 59 years old today. Canelo Alvarez. The boxer Canelo is 33 years old. Chance Crawford, actor, 38 years old. MIA, rapper. Isn't she the finger girl from that night, right? She shot out the middle finger in the Super Bowl, right? She is 48, MIA. Who else do we have here? I don't know her, but it says wrestler. So I'll go with you, Sean. Mandy Rose. Wrestler? Well, 2 thumbs up. She's cute, at least the face. I can't see the body.
Yeah, she was on NXT, and she was let go because she started an OnlyFans and made over $1 million in 1 month on OnlyFans.
Okay, so she's a smoke show.
Yeah, she's here in Miami, too. She's in Fort Lauderdale, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, why haven't you gotten her on the show? Richard Branson, Mr. Virgin, is 73 years old today. Let's see. What else do we have here? That's it, I think. Bam Adebayo is celebrating a birthday today. 26, I believe. Who else? John Glenn, the astronaut born on this date in 1921. We lost him in 2016. There you go. Those are the folks celebrating birthdays today. And in rock news or in music news today on July 18th, 1989, on this date, Jefferson Airplane reformed after 17 years apart. In 78, on this date, Def Leppard made their live debut at Westfield School in Sheffield in front of 150 students. In 1980, on this date, Billy Joel held the top position on both the album and singles charts. His record Glass Houses was #1, as well as the hit It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. In 93, on this date, Rage Against the Machine protested music censorship by appearing at the Lollapalooza set in Philadelphia completely nude except for duct tape over their mouths. They refused to play any music and instead stood there for 25 minutes with the letters PMRC written on their chests, a reference to Parents Music Resources Center. Interesting. In 2001, on this date, Kiss debuted one of their more iconic pieces of merchandise, the Kiss casket. That's right. The coffin featured the band's logo, the faces of the group's members, and the phrase "Kiss Forever." Pantera's Dimebag Darrell was buried in one. On the other hand, I want an Iron Maiden coffin. Okay? So whenever I pass away, make sure you help out the wife and you get me an Iron Maiden casket. Very important. Okay? Very important. Parents all over the world should be afraid. Lindsay Lohan has just welcomed her first child to the world. You know, I tell you all the time, the problem is we have a lot of the wrong people having kids. I can't see Lindsay Lohan as the right parent. I just can't. I'm sorry. It's hard for me. After watching how she's carried her entire life, it's really hard for me to understand that she would be a good parent, but let's pray for that kid. His name is Luai. Luai, I think. Luai. Luai, I guess. He's a boy, but I have zero confidence that kid's going to come out right, unfortunately. Joe Bonamassa, for those of you out there that are Joe Bonamassa fans, he has announced a North American tour. And by the way, you lucky bastards at Red Rocks, August 6th at Red Rocks. That is awesome to see Bonamassa at Red Rocks. That'd be fantastic. We do get a date here, by the way, at the Hard Rock Live, December 2nd. That's my daughter's birthday. He's in Estero at the Hertz Arena, December 1st, for those of you that are in that area, in Sarasota, Florida, at the Van Wenzel Performance Arts Center, November 30th. Okay? Whole bunch of other dates. He'll be in Orlando, Florida, March 15th at the Dr. Phillips Center, and in Clearwater on March 16th at the Sound. So this is an extensive tour where he comes back twice to the state of Florida. But he goes everywhere, man. Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, maybe Brett Venables will go, Virginia, Ohio, Georgia, everywhere, man. Kentucky, New Jersey, New York, obviously Denver, Salt Lake, Vegas, LA. So he'll be all over the place. So if you're a Bonamassa fan like I am, God, it's such a good concert to go see Joe Bonamassa do his thing. He is so good. How about this one? Russell Okung, the former Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman, right? Or Redskins also, right? Commanders. Let me see. Ex-NFL star Okung, who revealed he lost more than 50 pounds after going 40 days without food for a second time. The former 6th overall pick of the draft has transformed his life in retirement, embarking on a mental and physical journey through long-term fasting. He weighed more than 300 pounds during his playing days with the Seahawks, Broncos, Chargers, and Panthers. I got the Seahawks right. Went on his first fast earlier this year in which he lost more than 100 pounds. The former offensive lineman is now weighing 192 pounds after completing a second round of fasting over the weekend. But he makes it clear the challenge is not only about losing weight. The 34-year-old explained his decision to go through the process for a second time, saying, ultimately, I was still transitioning out of the NFL. I had a lot of questions about the world. My entire worldview was completely shifting. There's still a lot of questions I have. I don't want to say that they went away, but I do want to acknowledge that I have much more clarity, peace, and acceptance that there are things I cannot change. There are things I cannot change. I'm really interested in bringing my entire self to every experience that I encounter. I'm very happy because I feel rooted. I feel grounded. I know where I am here. He sounds like a complete space cadet. He sounds like he should be hanging out with Carlos Santana. So here's the thing. Here's a question I have. He says only water for 40 days. Do you take vitamins and supplements or something? Does anybody know about this kind of a diet? Like I've done the fasting thing and it does work. It's great. Okay. I did it for a while and I lost a lot of weight. And I did it where I fasted for 20 hours a day. And in a 4-hour window, I would eat like 2 meals. And that's what I would do. And I would lose a lot of weight. You literally lose a lot of weight if you fast that way. But how do you stay away from eating for 40 days? How is it just water? How do you survive? You have to have some kind of pills and supplements, right? There has to be some kind of vitamins and I don't know, minerals, and I don't know what the hell you're taking. You know what I'm saying? I know that you're able to burn, your body has fat. So like people like me or Russell Okun, you got a lot of fat to your body can, chew up. Meanwhile, while you're not feeding it food, but how do you, I don't understand that. How are you not in a completely weakened state in, 40 days? That's really odd, man. What do you think about that, Sean? How do you do that? 40 days of fasting, just water? Like it doesn't explain how he did it. There's got to be some kind of supplement. Fasting can make you more.
I'm looking at one, and they're saying that even though it says water only, you can use like black coffee, green tea, things like that. So I'm not saying that's what he did. I don't know what he did. I can't find the exact thing. And then they also said they almost they start weaning themselves off of food before they fast. So they start going to dense food as it gets closer to the time when they're going to.
So you eat less and less and less and less and less until you're not eating anymore.
And then you fast so your body's not probably one. Like right now, if me and you were to try to fast for 40 days, probably never happen.
Oh, no, God.
Our body would be craving so much that I guess what you do is you set it up.
Yeah, no, we die.
Again, I'm no doctor. I'm reading exactly what it says here on this article. That somebody that fasted for over 15 days. So long-term fast. So Rosendo, no, I am not a medical advisor.
No. We're not financial advisors or medical advisors. We're two dudes that do a sports talk show every day. That's it.
Yeah, don't take your fasting techniques from us.
No fasting, no dieting, no financial advice, none of that. None of that. Whatever we say, don't even pay attention to that, okay? Do your own thing. Jules, in sports today, WSOP paid over $12 million this year and had the largest turnout in their history. Good luck to you all. I don't know what that means. WSOP paid over $12 million. What does that mean?
World Series of
Poker. Oh. Whatever, bro. I think the record for fasting is over 300 days. That's nuts. Fasting for a length of time can be dangerous for many people. Okay. So True Fin Fan says to Rosendo, I have sat and had conversations with Sean. I can tell you he's a very bright dude. You're my boy, Sean. Is Rosendo taking shots at you?
No. I think Rosendo had put up top, like, you're asking Sean, LOL. Like, you're asking a fat guy who's even fatter than you? Really? About fasting? About being healthy?
Well, actually, True Fin Fan's in great shape.
No, I was talking about you asking me about fasting. True.
Okay.
Now, my God, you think I'm going after True Fin Fan? I'm talking about me and you here.
Yeah, exactly.
Round and damn.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Love that. Oh man, where's the market at? 29,937. Yeah, it's hanging around the 30,000. No big deal. No big deal. That's amazing. All right, Russell Okun. That is some impressive stuff, dude. That is some impressive stuff. So we told you about Sofia Vergara and Ariana Grande out on the street. So you single guys, you're ready to go. What else do we have going on? Ooh, how about the Zion Williamson story? You'll never trade him. You'll always have to have baggage with the kid, unfortunately. And now some really disturbing stuff is coming out. You know, Zion is. I watched his interview. I didn't want to replay it. He had an interview with oh God, what's Hibachi? What's his name? The guy played for the Wizards. God, what's his name? Hibachi, bro. That was his like nickname. He had the gun issue and everything. Was a shooter and a scorer. What's his name, bro? And
Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas. That's it. And he's got some podcast. And listen, first of all, to be quite honest, once you tell me Gilbert Arenas, I have a hard time ever taking that guy serious ever again after watching him throughout his career do all kinds of stupid shit and say stupid shit and do stupid shit. And so I saw him on there and I watched it for a few minutes and it was awkward. He first came in and was talking to him standing off mic and they finally told him to sit down and all that. And he is incredibly immature. That's the one thing that came off right away. He doesn't look like the brightest bulb in the chandelier. That I can already tell you. But he also comes off very immature, very childish. Like a guy that there's no way you could trust him to be a professional because there's nothing about him, the way he carries himself, that says professional, right? And then he has fallen on his face here. He has been one of the biggest busts in the history of time. The Pelicans were stupid enough to give him a second contract. You know, there was talk of trade, but nobody was dumb enough to trade for this guy because the amount of money that's left, and he's earned none of this money. Okay? That's the sad part about it. This guy has done nothing to get that money. So now he puts up a post from the Notorious B.I.G. and a lyric part of it. Did you see this, Sean? No? And he puts up, now he could like Notorious, but he doesn't really have to put up this specific quote because I love Notorious B.I.G. I think he's one of actually the best rappers out there, one of the coolest voices I've ever heard. But he then quotes the line, "I can't believe suicide's on my effing mind. I want to leave." And so this Zariah Mills thing is out again. And, you know, she's out there talking and, you know, sex tape and all. And like I told you, if you watch Zion, he is immature. So when you're immature, it's hard for you to compartmentalize all this stuff, to take in all the criticisms that you're getting from everybody, the concerns you're getting from everybody, and then your irresponsibilities are then piled on top of all of this. And you've got this porn star that just is talking all kinds of garbage about you constantly. And it's in your head. And then you see this. And if you're the Pelicans or you're people around the NBA or you're related to Zion or you're a friend of his, you've got to be concerned about shit like this. And because it's Zion, I think you need to be even more concerned because mentally, I'm sorry, dude. Like the other day when I saw that interview, that was the first time I actually heard him talk at length. And seriously, he sounds like he's in 10th grade, 9th grade or something. It sounds like that mind has never really evolved. Just got to say it like I see it, you know? And I would be very concerned about Zion Williamson. If I'm the Pelicans, if I'm people close to him, I hope that there's a mentor constantly with him. because he needs it badly. Okay? It's clearly a kid that has made so many mistakes and doesn't really know how to handle anything. He needs help, man. He needs help. I'd be concerned about Zion. Anyway, can fasting be done slowly? Brett, ask professionals, man. I have no idea. So I did fast from colas. That's a good one. Let's fast it, baby. Sounds like he needs a dark. Now, I don't know a darkness retreat, King Shred. I think he needs guidance. He needs education. You know? He really needs it. He needs to mature in a big time way. But how do you mature and how do you grow when you're rewarded for all your failures? They gave him $200 million for doing nothing. So he doesn't know what it's like to actually work for something. It's hard, man. You can't teach the spoiled the value of something if they've never earned it, because they don't know what it's like. He has incredible God-given ability. That's where it ends. He hasn't earned a goddamn thing. He didn't earn it in college. He hasn't earned it in the NBA. He hasn't earned anything. He doesn't carry himself like a pro. He doesn't play like one. He can't be counted on like a pro at all. There's no consistency there. He's done nothing to earn $1 that he's made in the NBA. But he's made hundreds of millions of dollars in the NBA for doing nothing, for being a failure. And when you reward that, there's no reason to work hard. None. Where's the carrot dangling? I'm getting paid anyway. No carrot. I can just keep eating, the drive-through. Oh, when are you going to the training camp practices? I'm going to go to most of them except when I'm out of town. That's all. But I'll be going to a lot of practices. You'll see me there. So I don't have the dates in front of me. But obviously, if I'm out of town in Canton covering Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I can't be here. If I'm in Montreal for the Metallica concert, I can't be here. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be a couple of dates that I'm going to miss. But I'll be in camp. I'll go to a few days. I won't go to as many as I normally did last year because obviously I've got a couple of trips in the way. But these are trips I've got to make. I'm certainly not missing, Metallica. There's no chance. And I'm certainly not missing Zach Thomas getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. To me, that's super important. And remember, we are meeting the Friday before the induction on Saturday. Let's meet in the afternoon around 2, 3 o'clock. I want to meet over at the Canton at the Hall of Fame so we can gather all around Shula's bust and sing the Miami Dolphin fight song. So for Dolphin fans that are going, all right, let's meet in the 2 to 3 o'clock hour there at the Hall of Fame in Canton. All right. And let's gather around. Let's go viral. And let's do something super cool that has never been done. Okay? True Fin fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Anyone care to join me Thursday in Hialeah? True Fin fan is going to Hialeah Park Thursday with us 3 to 6. Who's coming out? Let's go. If I can get a bunch of you to go out there, I can take prizes. You understand that, right? If one of you goes out there, I can't do that. But if a bunch of you come out there and hang out, talk, and have some fun, Hialeah Park, but you got to talk amongst each other. Got to message each other and all that good stuff and use your emails and all that to communicate with each other. And let's make it a thing at Hialeah Park, man. Let's go. Got Josh 1 week. We got True Fin Fan another week. Let's go. Let's get everyone going down there. And we'll make it an event. We'll have some fun with it. I promise you. But I need you to do your part. And you even get the people at Hialeah to give some stuff away. All right. What else do we have going on? Okay. Oh, Le'Veon Bell. Let's get into a little Le'Veon Bell. So we talk about running backs, right? And we see what happens with the running backs and how they're not getting paid. They're not getting multi-year contracts. And the deadline came and went yesterday at 4:00. So Pollard did not get a new deal. Neither did Saquon Barkley. Neither did Josh Jacobs. Now Pollard signed his tender. Okay. Now Saquon and Josh Jacobs did not sign their tender. So the question is, are they going to hold out? Pollard can't hold out. He has to report because he will be fined because he signed the tender. The other two guys will not be fined because they have not signed their tender. So I don't know what's going to happen, but obviously a contract is not there for the taking. So in comes Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell yesterday addressed the fan base and apologized. He apologized to the Steelers fans. Why? Because of what he did in not reporting and leaving and creating that mess. So he said, I never apologized to the fans for really sitting out or leaving the Steelers. I never apologized. So I want to say I apologize for leaving the best damn fans in the damn world. I shouldn't have left. I apologize. I should have never left. I apologize. That's my fault. That's on me. And yeah, you're right. It's on you. You were catastrophically stupid. You ended up, by the way, setting an example for many running backs to not follow. And we're going to find out if anybody is stupid enough to follow you, but so far it hasn't happened. And then it was also a sign of things to come. Le'Veon could have been the last guy that they paid. But instead, he is the start of the decline of the running back in the NFL, the need for a running back in the NFL. And the one thing that running backs are now realizing is you're not bigger than the team anymore. So you don't get to be Walter Payton. For many years with the Chicago Bears, it's the most important thing. You don't get to be Derrick Henry anymore. And you're not going to even be rewarded if you're Derrick Henry, because here he is at 29 and cannot get an extension from the team that he has basically carried from day one. Their quarterbacks have never been difference makers, but their running back has been, and he doesn't get rewarded. So Le'Veon Bell lost a lot of money, and that set an example for everybody else. Don't follow this guy, because running backs aren't respected, and they're going to let you walk, and they're going to let you hold out, and they're going to let you lose money. So it's nice that he apologized, but he's got to feel like an absolute horse's ass for the rest of his life, because he left millions on the table that he never recovered from. And while he did sign a contract that had $35 million guaranteed with the Jets, you know, you still have to, you have taxes in New York. You have to still pay for your agent. You have your own expenses. It's not necessarily as much as you think it is. And the $16 million or $15 million salary that he passed up, he never made up for that salary ever again. Le'Veon Bell, it's an apology that is probably a little too late. It probably carries no weight with the fan base because in the end, you're not going to be Jerome Bettis and you're not going to be Franco Harris. You're not going to be looked at that way. You're going to be looked at as a back that had a couple good years and then you left and you were a malcontent. It's the sad part. He had an opportunity to really establish himself in the Steeler culture. And when you actually find a pretty good company, pretty good team, pretty good ownership, pretty good situation, appreciate it. Le'Veon Bell did not. He paid the price ever since that moment. Anyway, what can I tell you? And pray for the Shula's ghost to curse Belichick. That would be funny if Shula's ghost is doing that. Without running backs, wide receivers will be more injury prone. Oscar, they'll always have running backs. Don't get Cuban on me, bro. Don't exaggerate. They're always going to have running backs. They're just not the priorities anymore. Understand that. The quarterback, your receivers, the offensive line, that's your priority. The tight end, that's more of your priority. The running back is behind a lot of things nowadays. So nobody's eliminating the running backs. They're all going to have 3, 4, 5 backs, but they're all going to use all of them. That's what they're going to do. There will be no more bell cows. There'll be nobody getting big-time salaries. There's not going to be that your running back's one of your best players and all that. That's what's going to happen. Doesn't mean that the position will disappear. The demand for that position will disappear. I will be okay if Shula's record is broken by Andy Reid, but I never want Belichick to break it. Okay. Let's not forget Le'Veon Bell went from great organization to Adam Gase and got robbed by 2 girls. Exactly. But that's on his own. You chose to go to the Jets. You chose to play for that fool. And then you chose to leave 2 hoes in your home so they can rob you blind. Big O, future NFL prospects are going to be less inclined to learn the running back position. Yes, you are correct. And there'll be less special players because they will play other positions. Yeah, that's what's coming. But that's just kind of the way the business is, and that's the way the position is. All right, we thank Manny Navarro and Marcel Louis-Jacques. We thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, that knows how to get it done and masters this entire platform every single day. Thanks to all of you out there. If you sent in a super chat, if you reached out to us by Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, we always appreciate that at Cash Big O Show. Always. Thank you out there. We will see you tomorrow. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think we got one more that came in here. Rick D. Man again. He says the MLS will surpass the NFL in 10 years. I would bet on it. Wow, that's a brave one. I don't know about the NFL. Baseball and hockey for sure. Okay. And then he sends another one for Threads is just Instagram feeds. Not a fan yet. I got you. That makes a lot of sense. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. All right, now we're ready to go. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.